Hey guys, so today I'm coming to you with chapter 20 for our beginning of our unit 8. This unit is going to go over tobacco, alcohol, and illegal drugs. So we're going to start with chapter 20, which is tobacco. It's only 2 lessons, should be pretty quick. It's mainly a lot of vocabulary. Tobacco is something that you can't buy until you're 21 now. It used to be 18, but very recently it changed. You can't buy tobacco products until you are 21. It is illegal for anybody to sell anybody tobacco products that are under the age of 21. And of course, just like when purchasing alcohol at a store, you're supposed to be carded with your ID for proof of age. So let's get into chapter 20. Our vocab for lesson 1 is addictive drug, and that's a substance that causes psychological or physiological dependence. So that means in your head, you're dependent upon the substance and your body craves it. It wants it. That's a physiological dependence on it. Your body wants it. Nicotine is the addictive drug that's found in tobacco leaves, and that's what causes people to want to continue using tobacco products because it's addictive. It keeps drawing you back. Your body wants more and more and more and more. Stimulant, a drug that increases the action of the central nervous system, which is the heart and other organs. So a stimulant makes your body respond more rapidly to things. It heightens its working, like the way that your body works. So your heart would pump faster because it's a stimulant, so it increases your heart rate and other organs, which isn't necessarily a good thing, because if a person is taking some sort of substances that have stimulant in it and then they drink like a lot of caffeine, your organs can be overworked. Carcinogen is a cancer-causing substance, and that is found in tobacco products and in the smoke that's exhaled. Tar is a thick, sticky, dark fluid produced when tobacco burns. Carbon monoxide, it's colorless, odorless, and it's a poisonous gas. It's in cigarette smoke. Smokeless tobaccos, tobacco that is sniffed through the nose, held in the mouth, or chewed. So you might see mainly baseball players, or I think of old Western movies. They stick a chew inside their lip right here, and they just hold it right here, and then your saliva mixes with it, and they kind of, like, your skin absorbs the substances, like the nicotine and all of the other chemicals and stuff that are in the tobacco, and then you spit out all of the yucky stuff. So you spit out all of the things that you would exhale from the smoke if you were smoking tobacco. And leukoplakia is thickened, white, leathery looking spots on the inside of the mouth that can develop into cancer. Some people develop this stuff in their mouth when they're using tobacco products. All right, harmful effects of tobacco use. So short-term effects, these are things that can occur immediately right after smoking or chewing using a tobacco product. So your brain chemistry changes. The addictive properties of nicotine cause the body to crave more. Again, it's addictive, so your body wants it after it's had a little taste of it. May experience withdrawal symptoms, which can be headaches, nervousness, and trembling. Again, this is right after using tobacco products, so that's you see this heavily in people that are called like chain smokers. So they smoke a cigarette, and then less than 30 minutes later, their body is like, yo, you need another cigarette. Go smoke, go smoke, go smoke, go smoke. And then they smoke another cigarette, and they smoke another one and another one. Chain smokers smoke continuously all day long within short periods of time. Another short-term effect is respiration and heart rate increase. So the nicotine may cause an irregular heart rate. Your heart can beat at an irregular pace. And breathing during physical activity becomes difficult, and your endurance decreases because your lungs are getting full of all that yucky smoke chemicals and stuff that stick to your lungs because it can't escape. Your taste buds are dulled and your appetite is reduced. So tobacco users often lose their ability to taste food and enjoy it, and that kind of makes them not want to eat. I don't know. It's kind of like a psychological thing. For example, my mother-in-law has smoked since she was about 14, um, a very, very, very long time. And I've never heard her real voice, and my children have never experienced her real voice because it's so coarse and like crackly from smoking so much. Um, and she only really eats like dinner. She doesn't eat during the day. All she does is smoke cigarettes and drink Coca-Cola, which is not very good for her health, and it shows. She's not a very healthful person, but it's, I don't know, smoking usually decreases the amount of food that a person wants to eat. And then another short-term effect, users have bad breath, yellow teeth, and smelly hair, skin, and clothes. If tobacco use continues for any length of time, these unattractive effects can become permanent. And yeah, same thing. My mother-in-law is probably going to be my main example of a person for this lesson, but I don't like going to visit over at her house because she smokes in her house. And I mean, if you sit down, you sit down. And then when we get home, like my kids have to go get in the shower right away because they smell like her cigarette smoke, which I don't like. Um, and she knows that. So she has learned that when we are over, she either has to wait until we leave for her to smoke, or she needs to go outside to smoke because I don't like it. Um, and I don't, I don't appreciate it. So she has learned and kind of like been respectful in that aspect that she doesn't smoke while she's sitting right next to us. All right, some long-term effects of tobacco use over time. Tobacco use can cause damage to body systems as well as others around you. Okay, so chronic bronchitis. So there are cilia in your bronchi, which are inside your lungs. They're like a little finger. They kind of look like trees. So tree branches going all throughout your lungs, and those can be damaged and then they become useless. So the tar buildup in your lungs, remember smoking, the tar comes in and then you exhale it out. It's that thick, sticky substance. The tar builds up in lungs and causes chronic coughing and excessive mucus secretion. So people are constantly trying to spit stuff out that is stuck inside their lungs. All right. Emphysema is a disease that destroys the tiny air sacs that are in your lungs, and air sacs become less elastic. They make it more difficult for the lungs to absorb oxygen. And remember, you need oxygen to, sustain all of your bodily organs. And a person with advanced emphysema uses probably about 80% of their overall energy just to breathe during the day. So they only have 20% to do other things, which, as you can imagine, would probably look very lethargic because if they're using all of their main energy just to breathe for the day, they're going to be very tired all the time. Lung cancer can develop from long-term tobacco use. And this is when, again, the cilia and the bronchi are just completely destroyed and all the extra mucus can't come out. Like a person can't get all the extra stuff in their lungs to come out. And then cancerous cells can multiply, block the bronchi, and move into the lungs. About 90% of lung cancer deaths are caused by smoking. Coronary heart disease and stroke can be caused by nicotine, and that's the addictive drug that's inside your tobacco. Nicotine constricts the blood vessels, so it makes them really small, and it cuts down the blood flow to the arms and legs, contributes to plaque buildup in blood vessels, which leads to hardened arteries in your heart. So you have big arteries in your heart that pump the blood throughout your body, and then it comes in, it's brought back, it's filled with oxygen, goes to your muscles, brought back. Okay, so if your arteries aren't working, you're not getting enough blood flow throughout your body. When arteries are clogged, This increases the risk of heart attack and stroke because your heart's just trying to work extra super hard to get the blood throughout your body, but it's just not capable of doing so. One of my little peoples is awake for theirs, trying to get this done before they woke up. And then long-term use of tobacco is it leads to a weakened immune system so that your body's ability to fight off diseases and illnesses, like when you have a cold or when you get the flu and stuff like that. So long-term tobacco use makes the body more vulnerable to disease because it's harder for your body to fight off the infections. All right, moving on to lesson 3. This is promoting a smoke-free environment. Your vocab is environmental tobacco smoke, and we're going to call that ETS, so environmental tobacco smoke. It's secondhand smoke that's in the air that's been contaminated by tobacco smoke, okay? So it's made from mainstream smoke and side stream smoke. Smoke in the air made from mainstream and side stream smoke, and this is what they are. Mainstream smoke is the smoke exhaled from the lungs of a smoker. So it's mainstream smoke is coming out of the main person that is smoking, right? So smoke, they exhale all of the smoke, and that is the mainstream smoke. Side stream smoke, this is more dangerous than mainstream smoke because it's the smoke that's burning off the end of the cigarette, the pipe, or the cigar, okay? So some people smoke cigarettes, some people smoke cigars, some people smoke a pipe, which looks like a little bowl, and they stuff the tobacco in there and then they light it, and I don't know, I really don't like smoke, so it all makes me feel icky when I think about this and I'm trying to describe it to you. So mainstream smoke is a smoke exhaled from a person. Side stream smoke is the smoke coming off of the lit tobacco product, right? So think of like if somebody holds a cigarette, they're holding it to their side. That's the side stream smoke that's coming out. Mainstream smoke is coming from the main person that's putting it out there, right? Let's see. Some health risks of tobacco smoke. So ETS, environmental tobacco smoke, contains more than 4,000 chemical compounds, and more than 50 of them are cancer-causing carcinogens. It's a lot. Infants and young children exposed to ETS are more likely to develop asthma than those that are not exposed to environmental tobacco smoke. And ETS causes eye irritation, headaches, ear infections, and coughing. Smoking by pregnant women, we've gone over this a little bit, can cause impaired fetal growth, so the baby doesn't grow appropriately inside their mother. Spontaneous miscarriage, where the mom's body just kind of rejects the baby and forces the mother to have the baby at an inappropriate time, so the baby dies. Prenatal death, the baby dies inside their mother. Premature delivery, that's when the baby is born too early, not finished. My bad, throat's a little dry. Can cause low birth weight in infants. Smoking by a pregnant woman can cause deformities in their baby. Stillbirth, that's where the baby it goes to full term, so the baby and the mother complete the full pregnancy, and then when the baby is born, the baby is dead, no heartbeat, and can't be brought back. Growth and developmental problems after birth, and sudden infant death syndrome, or SIDS. That's more common among women that smoke for their babies. So that's after your baby is brought home and stuff, and just it happens when they're sleeping. So something just happens to the baby and they just die in their sleep. Children of smokers are more likely to have ear infections, sore throats, and upper respiratory problems than children of non-smokers. Reducing your risks. If someone in your house smokes, you can ask them to quit, and you can give them like all of the knowledge behind all of the harmful effects of smoking. If someone in your house smokes, you can ask them to smoke outside instead of inside, and that'll reduce the amount of ETS that can affect you personally. If a visitor smokes and they come over to your house, you can politely ask them to go outside and smoke when they're visiting. And if you're visiting someone that smokes inside their house, try staying in a different room when they smoke or outside until they're done. And these are all things that I do with my mother-in-law and my husband's side of the family. I don't have anybody on my side of the family or even just a little bit further extended that does smoke. My parents didn't smoke when I was growing up. Um, Kenny's parents, they smoke. A lot of his, I think all of his aunts and uncles smoke. His sisters smoke. He's the only one that doesn't. And I think that's because very early in our relationship, I told him that that was a deal breaker, not happening. I will not be with someone that smokes because it bothers me a lot. If you have people in your house that smoke, like that's their prerogative. It's everybody's individual choice. But I told him very early on, and I was very firm about it, that if he decided he wanted to become a smoker, done. There is no, okay, you can go smoke outside. Mm-mm. Um, but yes, so whenever his family comes over to visit at our house, they either go to the front porch or they go in the backyard and they smoke, and they have to like stay out there for a few minutes so that they don't drag the smoke back in with them. If I go over to anybody's house and I'm visiting, if they need to smoke, I'll tell them I'm stepping outside and waiting until they're done, or um, I'll go into a different room at my mother-in-law's house if she doesn't go outside. And honestly, when somebody can't visit with you for at least 30 minutes or so without having to pick up a cigarette to smoke, I say bye. Like, oh, okay, you need to smoke. All right, well then I need to go. And that's just that's me. That's that's what I choose because I don't like cigarette smoke. It hurts. It gives me almost instant headaches. My eyes water. They feel very itchy. I don't like it, and it makes me cough. Even if I'm walking by somebody that's like smoking in their car in a parking lot, and I get some of that ETS smoke, I start coughing. It really affects me very bad. So yeah, don't like it, but there you go. Your assignment is attached to the document that I sent out with this. There are 6 questions I would like for you to answer. Sorry, little tiniest child woke up, so I paused it, and I'm using my computer today to record instead of my phone, just trying to make upload easier and whatnot. So your assignment, sorry, is 6 questions. Number 1, what are some reasons teens use tobacco? What do you think about that? If you need to do some research on that, that's fine. Otherwise, just give me your opinion. Why is there less teens smoking cigarettes today? What do you think is impactful? Because it is proven that less teens are smoking. Number 3, what are some strategies to avoid smoking? What can you do to avoid smoking? No. Oh, babe. You want to say hi?
No, no.
No, no? Okay. This is the littlest baby that just woke up.
My toys.
He wants toys.
My toys. He's got a baby, but I can't find them red balloons.
Oh,
but
your red balloon? Go look in the front bedroom. Okay. That's what I'm dealing with. Toys and balloons all day. Okay. So number 4, how can you stop the addiction to nicotine? What can you do to break the addiction of nicotine? How are you going to quit smoking if you do decide to smoke, or how can you help others decide to stop smoking? Number 5, where can you get help? What kind of support can you get for stopping the addiction to tobacco? And then number 6, which kind of secondhand smoke is worse, mainstream or side stream, and why? All right. Yay, under 20 minutes. Hope y'all are doing well. Please let me know if you need anything. If you need help contacting other teachers or how to go about that, let me know. Okay? Take care. It's the last full week of April. April went by a lot faster for me than March did, which I'm thankful for. Hopefully May zooms by and then we get into the summer months, and hopefully life can be a little bit better to where we don't have as many constraints on us. But keep doing what you need to do, okay? Love yous. Talk to you later.